Dear students, this is part 3 of this chapter. In this lecture, we will be discussing what are displacement reactions and double displacement reactions, and also what is redox reaction. So, starting with displacement reactions. When an element displaces another element from its respective compound of low reactivity, it is said to be a displacement reaction. Actually, here a more reactive element displaces a low reactive element from its compounds. So here is an example. Zinc displaces hydrogen. Zn, zinc plus H2S hydrogen sulfide gives H2 gas plus ZnS. Here zinc displaces hydrogen from hydrogen sulfide. In another example, a blue colored copper sulfate solution, when a iron nail is dipped in it, after some time we see that this blue color disappears and a green color appears. So this green color is actually the color of iron sulfate. It means that the copper from the copper sulfate solution is displaced by the iron to form iron sulfate solution. So this is a form of displacement reaction. Some other examples of displacement reaction are zinc plus copper sulfate gives ZnSO4, that is zinc sulfate plus copper. Aluminium plus copper sulfate gives copper plus aluminium sulfate. Similarly, iron plus copper sulfate gives copper and iron sulfate. And lead plus copper chloride gives lead chloride plus copper. So here one more active element displaces a less active or reactive element from its solution. So these are the examples of displacement reactions. Now, double displacement reactions. Reactions in which there is an exchange of ions between the reactants are called as double displacement reactions. In these reactions, there is the formation of an insoluble substance that is known as precipitate, and as such these reactions are sometimes also known as precipitation reactions. So any reaction that produces a precipitate can be called as precipitation reaction. Here is an example of double displacement reaction, that is silver nitrate AgNO3 plus sodium chloride gives silver chloride plus sodium nitrate. Here sodium and silver are displaced, and also nitrate and chloride are also displaced, and as such this reaction is a type of double displacement reaction. For single displacement reaction or replacement reaction, we have a general formula, that is A plus BC gives AC plus B. That is magnesium plus copper sulfate gives magnesium sulfate plus copper. Here magnesium and copper are displaced. So this is a single displacement reaction. In double displacement reaction, we have a general formula, that is AB plus CD gives AD plus CB. As we have calcium carbonate plus twice HCl gives calcium chloride plus hydrogen carbonate. So here calcium as well as hydrogen carbonate and as well as chloride ions get exchanged between the reactants, and as such this reaction is a double displacement reaction. Now we will see what are redox reactions. First we will see oxidation reaction. If a substance gains oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be oxidized, and such a reaction is known as oxidation reaction. And when a substance gains hydrogen or loses oxygen, it is known as reduction, and such a substance is known to be reduced. If one reactant gets oxidized while as the other gets reduced during a reaction, such type of reaction is known as redox reaction. That is, oxidation as well as reduction takes place simultaneously. If a substance gains oxygen or loses hydrogen during the reaction, it is oxidized, and while if the substance gains hydrogen and loses oxygen, it is known as reduction. Also, when a substance loses electrons, it is said to be oxidized, and when it gains electrons, it is said to be reduced. So such reactions are also known as redox reactions. For example, we have sodium plus chloride gives sodium chloride. Here sodium loses 2 electrons while as chlorine gains 2 electrons. So sodium is oxidized while as chlorine gets reduced. Similarly, sodium plus oxygen gives sodium oxide. Here sodium loses 2 electrons, that is it gets reduced, oxidized, and oxygen gains 2 electrons, it gets reduced. So these reactions are redox reactions.